Hey guys, welcome back on the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. And today guys, more big news, more big updates. I remind you, the last video, you can find everything on André Santos deal and other stories, Mason Greenwood and much more. So it's plenty of news and you can go there. A few hours ago released this video for you. But now we have to talk about all the rest, because there are updates, midfielders video. And so we jump into it together. And let me start guys by announcing what I've been telling you. So Aurélien Tchouaméni for Manchester United, many stories, many news, many breaking news, many secret stories, but I always told you there are two problems. The first one, Real Madrid are not opening doors. The second one, and that's not a detail, the salary of the player. These two issues were creating serious problems to Manchester United dream to sign Aurélien Tchouaméni, because yes, as I always told you, Aurélien Tchouaméni was considered as the perfect player for Man United, a dream target in midfield, the perfect player to replace Casemiro and to add quality to the midfield, experience, elite player. But one thing is dream, one thing is reality in the market. And the reality was the salary was too high, and also Real Madrid never really opened doors to Man United. Real Madrid never told Man United, if you make this bid for this money, we sell the player. This never happened. It was just Man United decided to try, but it became very clear that it was impossible to make it happen financially and also in terms of club-to-club desire with Real Madrid. And now Real Madrid have reached an agreement with Aurélien Tchouaméni and with his agent to sign a new contract at the club for the next 5 years. And it's a here we go. Everything done and agreed between Tchouaméni and Real Madrid. Now just waiting to exchange all the documents and sign the new contract. Tchouaméni will have a very big salary at Real Madrid. Everything has been agreed. And let me mention Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho behind the scenes was pushing to keep Tchouaméni. He wants that kind of player as well. Fighters with a top mentality, physical player. He needs that kind of player, and so he didn't want Tchouaméni to leave at all. When Mourinho did an interview a few weeks ago in a clear way saying that people say I want players out, I want players who had problems out, and we all know Tchouaméni and Fede Valverde had problems. Mourinho said, I don't want players to leave. Those players, I want them. I want this kind of hot players. And Aurélien Tchouaméni is staying at Real Madrid and signing a new contract at the club. Then, more to mention about midfielders. I wanted to take a minute, guys, to talk about Bruno Guimarães. Because on Bruno Guimarães, I've been telling you everything over the recent weeks, and my position remains absolutely clear. Arsenal want Bruno Guimarães. Let's enter into all the details on every single side of this story. First detail, what happened so far? Newcastle and Arsenal have been in contact about the story of Bruno Guimarães. Arsenal opening bid was 55 million pounds, rejected by Newcastle. Then Arsenal last week indicated to Newcastle via the agents of the player that they were ready to reach 65 million pounds. But Newcastle still closing doors to this possibility. So no to 55 million pounds bid, no to the suggestion to offer 65 million pounds. Then what happened? My understanding is, on player side, Bruno Guimarães wants to go to Arsenal. Bruno Guimarães has clear desire to go to Arsenal, and personal terms would not be an issue. So Bruno wants to go to London and wants to go to Arsenal. Then Bruno Guimarães, from what I understand, didn't tell Newcastle something in an Alexander Isak story style like 1 year ago. Sell me or I'm not gonna stay here. Bruno Guimarães wants to be respectful with Newcastle. If Newcastle can reach an agreement with Arsenal, Bruno will be happy to go to Arsenal. If this doesn't happen, Bruno Guimarães will not create problems to Newcastle. So it's a different attitude by Bruno. Bruno is not saying, sell me or I'm gonna create issues. That's really important to mention. But Bruno wants to go to Arsenal. And now what's gonna happen next? My understanding, sources involved and close to the story say that a transfer fee maybe around 90 million pounds could be the beginning of the discussion. Arsenal, from my understanding, are not offering 90 million pounds at least at this stage, so it has to be negotiated. We have to see now if from the starting point 55, then eventual 65 million pounds, and the magic number in this case 90 million pounds, if in this range Newcastle and Arsenal can try to reach an agreement. This depends on Newcastle, because Newcastle want to keep the player, but Bruno has this desire to go to Arsenal, and this depends also on Arsenal, because for sure they have to improve the 55 million pounds official bid, but also the suggested 65 million pounds bid will not be enough. So an extra proposal would be needed to make the deal happen. But that's the story for Bruno Guimarães. Arsenal are there, and let me mention one name also here, a coach, Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta is pushing and pushing and pushing to get Bruno Guimarães. Mikel Arteta has always been a big fan of Bruno since years ago. This is not the first time Arsenal are linked with Bruno Guimarães. Why? Because Mikel Arteta is driving this interest, is a big fan of Bruno. Now, again, it depends on club to club, but 55 million pounds, no. 65 million pounds suggested, not in paper, not enough. Newcastle would open doors around 90 million pounds. Arsenal are not offering that. In this range, around 65 and 90, in the middle, they could try to find a solution if Newcastle won't. Otherwise, Bruno will respect that, but Bruno made clear that he wants to go to Arsenal. So that's the situation around one of the most wanted players in the market right now, Bruno Guimarães. Then guys, talking about midfielders and Brazilians, next 24 hours, medical test, contract signing, 5-year, 1-year option, 10% sell on close, 48 million pounds, 2 million bonuses for André Santos to Manchester United from Chelsea. André is done. One thing, the agents of André Santos are the same agents as Bruno Guimarães. And also, important to mention, I saw somewhere intermediaries are working for Arsenal, Newcastle. Is not intermediaries. Bruno Guimarães is represented by Giuliano Bertolucci, Kia Jarabchan, and Alexis Malavolta. The three are together. This is the same agency working together. They are the same people working together. It's not intermediaries. It's important to clarify because the agents of Bruno are driving this deal, as the agents of Bruno also made it happen for André Santos. So the agents of André Santos in that case is the same agency. So André Santos is a done deal. Bertolucci Sports closed the deal with Manchester United, and now focus on Bruno Guimarães. Then I keep receiving many questions on what's going on with Ederson. Guys, first point, Man United in midfield, even after André Santos, feel they are not done. Ederson will undergo a medical this week, so it will be this week at Manchester United. There will be Ederson taking a medical in the UK because Man United made the first check in the US and they want to do more check with their own staff in England. At the moment, the deal is still not confirmed. So today I can tell you, Ederson to Man United, here we go, in the sense of what I told you in June. Agreement between all parties. The player is having a medical. It's all agreed verbally. But to tell you, is Ederson to Manchester United closed, signed, completed? Not yet. At this stage, not yet. And we have to be careful because there is a medical to do in England, and Man United will then communicate to Atalanta and to the player what they feel about that medical. So we have to be careful and to wait until the end for that medical of Ederson. At the same time, André Santos medical in the next 24 hours, and Man United closing that deal. On this, guys, and much more, let me know your opinion, as always, here in the comments. And remember to like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your opinion on all these big names. Tchouameni, André Santos, Ederson, Bruno Guimarães, and all the rest, as every single day, here on the channel. Thank you, and I will see you soon.